DSP cries on stream. This is pretty brilliant, by the way. DSP cries. Where's the timestamp? Someone's got it in the comments, right? DSP did a marathon stream for his birthday the other day, and it was fucking brilliant, right? Fucking brilliant. He didn't get his target, which is 3,350, I think, something crazy for his birthday. Right? He went. That's how much he was expecting to get. His dents ended up coughing up 2,000 something, so pretty close, but not all the way there. It still wasn't enough, by the way. At the end of the stream, he kept stalling. I was watching it quite late after I finished streaming, and he kept saying, I'm going to leave, I'm going to leave, I'm going to leave. He never left. He kept staying, kept hanging around, he kept stalling. Every time he stalled, someone would send a super chat. Then you'd be like, oh, I can't leave now because somebody sent a super chat. And then he'd ask for more money. Even though he's already got 2,000, he'd ask for more. And then he did a really scummy thing that he was then saying, oh, I hope everyone turns up tomorrow. Because usually when I get these big support, you know, when I get supported, when I get all this money on one day, usually the next day is not so good. So imagine raising 2,000, right? Imagine
powerful bunch.
Yeah, appreciate.
He did nothing wrong and everything correct.
Exactly.
Man face bombing emoji.
Exactly. Imagine begging, right? Imagine begging and you get $2,000. But then you kind of start to pre-beg for the next day, even though you've already begged for $2,000. It's never enough, and you're trying to ensure that you can get more the next day. Your fans can never have a day off. They can never have a break. They just have to constantly be opening up their Velcro wallets for you. Pretty disgusting. Anyway, during the stream, he got very drunk. For some reason, he doesn't like admitting that he gets drunk. I don't know why. He likes to say the word buzz or whatever else he says, right? But he doesn't like to admit that he's just drunk or something strange. I don't know what that is all about, but he did get quite drunk and he got really emotional and he started crying. And he didn't really cry. I didn't really see many tears coming out of his eyes, but he looked fucking redacted as he was crying, reminiscing about how much he loves his wife. Fucking crazy. So let me play the clip for you so you can see what I mean. I think it's around 17, 18 where he starts to cry. He starts to cry because he starts to imagine people who don't have wives. DSP, the fucking, you know, the wife guy. Lovely to see.
Ready to go. I was saying good night, and now all of a sudden here we go again with this nonsense, right? We're at what, $1,800 of crazy support? What is happening? I don't know.
And this fake confusion is funny though. He's been hyping up his birthday for like, I feel like he's been hyping up his birthday marathon stream for maybe like 2 months. No, I swear he's been hyping up his birthday marathon stream since the beginning of the year. And normally for DSP, every year his birthday streams are a big time for him to raise money. He raises money on his birthday stream and on any kind of public holiday, like, you know, Halloween and all that sort of shit, right? Or celebration, those type of days. So he usually gets a lot of money those days because he usually does like a marathon stream. So I love how he's trying to act confused. Oh my God, guys, I don't know how I got all this money. Wow, you guys are so generous. I wasn't expecting this. Yes, you was. Yes, you was. You were hyping it up since Jan. You were fully expecting it. That's why your goal was $3,000.
But now would be the time to hit it. If we're ever going to hit it, now would be the time. If not, I want to never mention it again.
I love that, by the way. He tries to act like he's, hey, if you want to hit the goal, now is the time to do it because I'm going to leave. But then you go, don't worry, it's not that big of a deal. Then why are you mentioning it then? If it's not a big deal, why are you mentioning it? But then you mention it because it's a big deal and you want to hit it now to get away. Cool.
I was joking earlier, and now what is going on? I don't understand.
You weren't joking. You weren't joking.
I was joking earlier in the week, right? And then all of a sudden, boom, we had $1,000 the next day. I was like, what? What is happening?
I was joking my ass. I was joking
now, let's do it. If we're going to ever do it right now. Okay. I received a $2 tip.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here comes the crying.
Shout out to your wife. I don't think she gets enough credit for helping you behind the scenes. She does not. For food and dealing with disrespectful trolls, you're absolutely right on that regard.
Why would your wife get props for helping you out behind the scenes if people don't see what she does behind the scenes and you don't talk about it? And what is help anyway? What is help? She washes your clothes. And she keeps you fed, which she doesn't, by the way, because they order DoorDash every fucking single night. So what is this fucking, oh, my wife doesn't get enough props. Like, why would she get props? You don't like people talking about your wife, but then you parade her on stream when she's clearly overweight, knowing what the trolls will say. So, and also you let fucking, what's his name? Triple P go after her and say some very, you know, not so nice things about her weight. But you didn't cry then, right? You didn't have all this emotion then when you let that guy trample over your wife and be disrespectful because he was helping you put money in your pocket. This guy's a real piece of shit.
She's a keeper. I hope God continues to bless her. Me too. You as well. Happy birthday. Can I get a ding dong die for the road? There you go. Ding dong die.
That's a bit racism there, as we can know. That's a bit casual racism.
You got it. You got your ding dong die. My wife is an angel. My wife is my saving grace. My wife is the reason why I'm so happy.
Look at his face. Even when he's crying and he's emotional, he's got a punchable face. How is that possible? How does he look like that? Even when he's crying, he looks like you want to just like ram his head into a wall or something, you know? Obviously that's a joke. You don't want to do it seriously. But doesn't his face look crazy? I've never seen somebody cry, but then you don't feel bad for them, you know? Usually when somebody cries, you feel bad for them. But in this case, when you see when you see DSP crying, you're like, you don't give it, like, you have no emotions. You don't give a flying fuck. Okay, he's crying, I think. Well, he's pretending to cry. Or maybe it's because of the booze, he's getting all emotional. Which is probably like what happened.
And now, of course, I'm getting emotional, but...
What? Now he's thinking about having a wife. Oh, my trolls don't have wife. What?
Before I met Kat, you saw how angry I was, right?
Hold on. He's trying to act like he's not angry anymore because he's got a wife. Wasn't he with Kat when he did the whole fucking take out your spoon, eat out your ass with a spoon? That fucking stupid little rant that he went on. The 9999 shit, right? With the Adolf Hitler hat. Like, he's had many angry moments while being with Kat. What's he talking about? He's every time he plays Street Fighter, he's incredibly toxic. What? I love this retconning of fucking history. You saw how angry I was, right? When I wasn't with Kat. If anything, he was more mellow when he wasn't with Kat because he was just drinking all night. Now he's super wound up. He's super irritable all the time. Fuck off. Look at this. He's crying, but he's still checking the donors, by the way. He's crying, but he's still double checking the chat, keeping an eye on the donors. Yeah? What type of crying is that, by the way? He's so pathetic. I need some time. Honestly, what's that word? The Kuno Casino guys are gonna destroy him. That being said, guys are gonna be laughing their fucking pants off. They're gonna be so happy. Chill Murray and them, man. They're gonna dance on his head top.
Kat is the reason why I'm not angry anymore.
Shut up, mate. You're always angry.
Because I'm happy.
I'm happy.
Everything before her.
Honestly, that voice, man. I don't think I've ever heard of a streamer that has a more annoying voice than DSP. That whiny, nasally, faux valley girl thing he has going on with with certain inflections and whatever else it may be. Oh yeah, and he's got this weird. He's got this really weird old timey way of talking as well. Although he's only 43, he uses slang and lingo of somebody that's in their 60s, but then he's got a really whiny voice of like a child or something, but he doesn't shut the fuck. That's the thing that's really interesting about it with all locals. He doesn't shut the fuck up. He has one of the most annoying voices in the world. He begs for money, but he never shuts the fuck up. And he also looks the way he does, and he loves his own reflection. It's mind-boggling, truly mind-boggling.
With another life. Everything since I met her has been the best life. And I wish that for all of you.
If only my trolls would get married. Dude, he needs a wife.
Really absolutely do. That's why I think that so many people out there are in pain and are hateful.
Patronizing, condescending cunt. Shut up, bro. People hate you because you're easily hateable and you beg online. Like, I think that's one thing he never is going to get through his head, isn't it? Like, people are never going to be okay with people that panhandle on the internet, especially the way that DSP does. Like, give me money so I can eat. Like, give me, like, what's the other day? Didn't he the other day, like, raise $900 to order McDonald's? Like, yeah, if I meet all my goals and you give me $900, I'll order McDonald's or something. It's like, bro, you're begging for $900 to order a fucking $10 meal or max $50 meal. Are you insane? So I love how DSP could never get it through his head that no matter how he tries to rationalize it, no matter how calmly he speaks, no matter how much he cries, how much he whines, me included, and other people are never going to be okay with you getting on stream and just shaking your tin cup, asking for donors to pay what your tax guy, to, I don't know, to buy fucking allergy medicine, to take your wife out for dinner. Like, imagine as a man being okay with getting on stream, begging for tips so you can take your wife on dates. Do you know how, like, embarrassing that is? Do you know how, like, the opposite of being manly that is to go online and legitimately be begging for tips to take your wife out for a date? And he does it and he's like proud, you know? Feels day off. Like, coming back to brag about what he spent people's money on. It's like, have some shame, man. Have some dignity, you know? Have some dignity. Have some pride. Like, have some class. Like what the fuck? So now everyone that hates him is just lonely and single, right? Everyone that hates him is lonely and single or in a miserable relationship. If they just get someone that loved them, they'll see automatically that DSP isn't that bad of a guy.
And hate others and think it's okay to step on others. I gotta step on others to get ahead. I gotta hurt others to get ahead. Because you're not happy. Because if you were happy, you wouldn't want to crush others.
Yo, you would. Big up pre-ban for logo. AZ mad. No one gave him food. Yeah, I would actually take the food. I would willingly, happily take the food. The funny thing about DSP, he wouldn't. Like, if you actually sent him food, he'd be upset. He wants the money. He doesn't want the food. He wants the money to do what he wants to do with it. If you actually send him the food, he'd actually be offended. He'd be offended that you're trying to run his stream, you know?
Powerful bunch.
Yo, big up Abe Martinez.
I agree, but he's making more than it's backwards.
He's making... yeah, of course. That's the thing that's fascinating about DSP, because, like, he shouldn't be making the money that he's making, given how much of a horrible person he is, how he comes across on stream, right? He's not very likable. Like, if content creation is about being somewhat likable, right? Or being in the business of likability, as Brendan Shaw would say, DSP is like negative on everything, right? He's super unlikable, but people like him and they still give him donuts, so it's all well and good. The really interesting part about it is that, for me, I'm just waiting to see what the end looks like, because most likely the end ain't gonna be pretty. If this is how he's quote unquote getting away with it, being a piece of shit person, then it leads me to believe that when it ends, it's not gonna be pretty, you know? It's not going to be pretty. That's the only thing that's sad about the situation, that he doesn't realize that he's getting away with it. Not that he's like thriving because he's a good guy, great creator. He's kind of getting away with it. He should be saving and knowing that it could all stop at one point. But he doesn't really think that far, you know? He just thinks about the next day to beg and shit. That's the only disappointing part about it. It's not really disappointing because I don't really give a fuck, but you know what I mean.
You need to crush others because you would be okay. There's so many people out there who are hurting and no one gets it. Once you get it, you don't need to do that anymore.
The thing is, you know what's funny about the money raised? Big up Run It Up. He got 2K for day stream and live streaming. What the actual fuck? Big up Booth McGee. I'm not giving my money to a soy boy. Exactly. The thing about the money thing is that in the past, he probably would have got more, you know? Because in the past, he used to not count super chats as his tip goal. You know that? In the past, super chats weren't counted. It was only donations, only tips that came directly through PayPal link. It was never, ever, or Streamable, whatever it is, or Streamlabs, sorry. It was never super chats, because he would say super chats and whatever else, he only gets them. That's how YouTube works. You get them usually the month after, right? So for him, it's not. It doesn't exist. If it's the month after, he can't have it now. It doesn't exist, and it's not. You know, it's not useful for him. So he would insist and clarify: if you support me, you have to support me with tips directly through PayPal. So if he was still as toxic as he was before and greedy, he would have probably made more than $2,000. But he made $2,000 because he's now including super chats and gifted memberships and shit on YouTube and on Kick. That's why his total is a bit inflated. So I don't know how much the actual tip total is, but back in the day, he would really rack up the money. So it's just, that's a funny bit. Like, he's blown through so much money. Like, he's blown through so much. And the really mad thing about it is that he doesn't even do anything with it. It's not like he's got like a great property portfolio, or he buys nice cars, or he goes on holidays and shit. He blows it all on WWE champions. Like, that's the fascinating part of it. Like spending thousands of dollars on a fucking mobile game is like, wow. All of that begging and scamming of your fans, and all you do is give the money to Scopely. Okay, cool, man.
You don't need to be upset about every little idiot who says something about you, every little moron who pokes at you. You know, you don't need to hyper focus on the negative. You can just be positive about the good things in your life.
Shut up, man. You're always negative.
And people don't get it.
You're the king of hate, bro. You're the king of hate. You're always negative.
They don't, because they don't have that. And I feel bad, but I can't make you understand that until you have it.
Fuck off.
So I wish that
Patronizing
upon all of you. Because my life is so much better because of my wife.
Look at him.
And I feel bad.
He's not even
that
crying.
So many people
Look
don't
at him.
have that.
He's such a fucking pitiful
and
guy.
they just stand there and they're so upset about everything.
Like you are.
Every little fucking thing. Who cares?
Where's the tears, by the way?
Who cares that Ethan Ralph lives in a shack in Mexico? Who cares about Cog, who doesn't have a toilet that flushes, right? Who cares about this guy that said this, or this guy that said that? Who cares about this guy that makes crap content? Who gives a fuck about any of it? Why would you care? Don't you have something better to do? Don't you have something you actually like? Because you know you don't like that. So why would that be what you're doing with your life? I don't get it. I don't understand it. You don't have to, I understand, you don't have to like what I'm saying. You have to say, I get it. Why would I focus on that? What is wrong with me?
We focus on it because you're a horrible person. That's basically it. People just don't like you. I like how he's never ever had that moment to figure out, or to sit there and think, why don't people actually like me? There's so many things about this guy that are unlikable, but he never has sat down and think to himself, why don't people actually like me? Why are they always on my back? Why are they literally picking apart everything that I say, micro-analyzing everything, going through everything I do and say with a fine tooth comb, you know, tracking all my tips and everything else, all that malarkey? Why do they do that? It's because they don't like you, and you've done horrible things in the past that they don't fucking like, and they want to expose you, and they want to end you. That's basically why. Not because they're lonely, not because they're not on Tinder or something.
And I'm happy now, and I don't need to anymore, ever again.
Okay,
whatever I don't have to listen to any of this nonsense from the drama sector, whatever it's called. I can just be me. Today I played games. I ate food for my wife. I made an insane amount of money. Why would I be sad?
Why are you crying then? You fucking fish.
I'd be retarded to be sad.
He loves that word now.
What just happened today?
He loves dropping that word now.
You know? Like, oh, let me now go crap on some people. No, I'm not going to do that. I don't need to.
Anyway, piece of shit DSP, piece of shit DSP.